Hello audience friends, I am Harris. Welcome to AutoLab. Since this year, Leapmotor has started its brand's upward journey. The flagship SUV, the D19, has started deliveries, and the flagship MPV D99 is also on the way. But as a people-friendly brand, Leapmotor has not forgotten the foundation of its foothold. Therefore, all SUV models of its mainstream C series have launched the 2027 version today. First of all, let's take a look at the first place in the market segment, the Leapmotor C10, in order to achieve a consistent family design with the D19. So the C10 also adopts the mainstream design and uses split headlights. However, the daytime running lights still retain the iconic family elements of the Leapmotor. At the same time, its main light, in addition to the regular near and far light, also adds a corner to make up the blind, and also added small blue lights. And you can also see small blue lights in the rear view mirror and the fog lights at the rear of the car. The second change mainly focuses on the wheels. First of all, there is a new wheel hub style, double 5-spoke wheel, which makes the whole car look more energetic. The choice of tires has also been changed from the previous Yokohama V108E to Arisen 1. Yokohama V108E is a tire with some relative sports orientation, and the Arisen the first may be a better match for this car. Compared with the appearance, the interior design changes of the new model will be more significant. The criticism of the old model mainly focuses on the fact that although the materials used are very good and the workmanship is very solid, the design will lack some sense of hierarchy. And now the new model hierarchy has finally been given, and you can see there's a lot of layers inside the car, and you can see the more delicate metal trim at the edge. At the same time, the ambient light is still in a state of seeing the light but not seeing the light, and the texture will be better, and at the same time, its small instrument cluster is also relatively harmonious. Is integrated into the entire interior design, although as a Neo car owner, this interior design language looks a little familiar, but at least the visual texture is given to you. In addition, at the configuration level, we can see the adjustment direction of the front seats has been improved to a certain extent. The number of speakers for stereos has also increased to a certain extent. For mid-range units have been added, and a pair of headrest speakers has been added. But the most important thing is actually the front seats. Now these two seats are both zero-gravity seats. We had a discussion earlier about whether zero-gravity seats should be in the front or the second row. But to be honest, for this size of SUV model, putting it in the front row obviously has a higher usage rate. You can get a better rest experience when you are in a two-person space. Just a little more about the zero-gravity seat. I'm 1.9 meters tall. I can relax in this chair, and my legs don't hit the steering wheel or have significant interference with the pedals. This is a good human-machine design, since the center console in the front row has been redesigned, so the position of the water cup holder has changed. Added a small table board behind the co-pilot. It has a water cup groove and a groove that can be used to support the pad. The most important thing is that the excellent rear row space and the overall ride experience have also been preserved. At the rear of the car, the volume of the entire trunk is 370 liters, which is relatively compact. It expands into the lower part of a more than 90-liter expansion space, so it has a better storage performance. But if you have higher requirements for space, the next car might suit you better. I don't know if this space can meet everyone's needs now. This is the 5-seat version of the Leapmotor C16. And its second row of seats can be formed by electrically folding. The big bed mode you see now, it's hard to say how big the bed is, but anyway, I can lie down at a height of 1.9 meters. You can also buy a brand new trunk cover from a third party to expand the function. It can implement movie viewing mode. The cover can also be turned into a camping table in the wild. If you think this rear hatch space is a bit wasteful, then the Leapmotor C16 also has a 6-seat version available. As an SUV model with a length of less than 5 meters, its 6-seat or 3-row seat is actually closer to an emergency state. I'm sitting here, the space is relatively compact. But the core value of the 6-seat version of this car goes beyond just 2 extra seats. But the flexibility of the second row. Although the price of this car may only be 100,000 yuan, but the second row still has a lateral movement capability. This function can bring 2 changes. First of all, the 2 seats can be attached closer together. Whether a mother wants to take care of the child or a couple wants to be close, it will be a better distance. And the second is to transform to the current state while retaining the central channel of the second row. to give the entire second row a more spacious seating position. And the change in the front part of the B-pillar is actually the same as the change in the C10. Both the 5-seat and 6-seat versions of the C16 received the same few upgrades. The only difference is that as a larger SUV model, its 21-inch wheels have a new style. To be honest, these SUV models of the Leapmotor C series are in a very interesting state in the past 2 years. The 2026 model is upgraded with 3 electric and intelligent parts of the whole car, which is something invisible. But by 2027, it has upgraded the exterior, interior, configuration, etc. They are things with strong perceptibility that can be seen and touched. And after 2 changes, the entire vehicle forms are relatively complete. The 27 models also have some changes at the dynamic level. It has a faster charging speed, which means a larger battery. And at the same time, after the addition of the Stellantis group, its chassis tuning has also been updated. But if you have higher requirements for its dynamics, then maybe the C11 model may better meet your expectations. In the next 10 days or so, I will also bring you an upgrade of the dynamic performance of this series of models. Thank you for watching this episode of AutoLab. I am Harris. See you next time.